is up, everybody? Welcome to week 7 wrap up. I am Sam, Ninja Assassin. We have with us, as always, Gang Green, Mr. Rob. How's it going, sir?
All right, Sam. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing well. Happy to get a win this weekend. Anything to do. But before we get started, hey, let's take a look at a conference here. We're about the halfway point, so maybe we get a clearer picture here of what's going on. Let's take a look at Conference 1 here. El Oso Verde, first place on Earth Division. He took his first loss.
Yeah. And SmackDown got within a game of him. So I mean, it's I'm sure it's frustrating. You're sitting there at 6-0, and you lose one, and next thing you know, you've only got a 1-game lead, right?
Yep. And Rancho Nuggets still in the mix there, So.
He is.
Did that go? And then the Win Division, I'm still sitting at 6-1. Tay's coming up right behind me. Points wise too. He already passed me in total points.
You're an interesting team there, and I know you had that 240-point week, but I mean, 924 is really strong. But dude, you're like all over the place on scores this year. So
yeah.
Right?
It's so.
You finished.
It's like real football, Rob. That's how I compare it to. It's so unpredictable. Who would have thought Raiders had their worst performance the previous week, and then this week, Carr blew up. It's just all over the place, like you said.
Thursday night football, man.
Yeah, and let's go ahead into the conference too. Heart Foundation still and Straight LA 4-3. So.
And High Rollers at 3-4.
Yeah.
And hell, New Denver at 2-5. I mean, nobody wants it.
Not yet. I know.
I'm sure they all want it. They don't act like it. Man.
Yeah. And Conference 2, Sav's still sitting there.
Yeah. Okay. So this division, I refuse to talk about anything outside of Savs in this division. Albeit that they'll all probably beat me on the season. It's just 3-4, 3-4, 2-5. Yawn.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Yeah. And I play Savs next week, so that'd be an interesting matchup for me, Rob.
Yeah. Good luck with that. That's a good matchup, man.
That would be tough. Let's go ahead and start and talk about our first matchup. I just happened to have my worst score of the week of the season, and luckily I played somebody who had a lower score than me in the Fat Wagon. Now, Rob, right before the Monday night game, I'm only up by 9, and I'm and he had 2 people going, right? Blount and Alshon Jeffries, and I was telling Tay, I was like, geez, I wish you would just beat me already so I don't have to keep watching the game so I can go do something else, and then he slowly crept up, right? And I'm like, geez, just beat me already, And so I can go do something else. Anyways, by halftime I was cheering for myself, thinking, oh man, I have a chance to win, So, so when I won, it was a relief. That's just how it was. You go from 240 points, the highest ever, and then go down to 72. What you gonna do? Trevor Siemian, he looks like crap. Denver Broncos totally look like crap, Rob. I mean, jeez. How do you? I don't know. They're back and forth. I mean, my team just stunk it up. Like you said last week, Rob. You said Peterson will not have a game like that again, and I told you I probably believe you, Rob. I probably believe you with my luck, and sure enough, Peterson. Gosh, I'm in all sorts of trouble in all of my skill positions there, So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna lose the Savs next week, probably with this kind of lineup, But it's just horrible, Rob. Horrible.
Well, I think, Sam, that you've taken up enough time for a 72-point win. So the Broncos do indeed suck, but who didn't know that was going to happen? So let's move on to the next game.
Let's move on. Let's move on to your game, Gang Green versus SmackDown Hotel.
Okay, here's all I got to say about my game is, in my season in general, is first of all, kudos to Michael. Second of all, Carson Wentz is a nice-looking player. I have very little to say about the disappointment in my team. It was obviously a philosophy draft where I went 0 running back and was hoping to get one of these guys to step up, and I did with Dalvin Cook. But at this point in the season, it's the quarterbacks have just let me down, and it's a lost season at this point, 2-5. So SmackDown Hotel is playing very strong. He's done a nice job of putting together his quarterbacks there. Running backs are very strong. Obviously a little weak in the wide receiver position, and but he's winning games, and it's going to be a nice race between him and Eldo Silverde, two pretty nice looking teams there.
Yeah.
Guys have made some good moves this year, so hats off to you. I'm not going to spend an awful lot of time this season talking about my team and my losses because, dude, it's just, look at the results, bro. So, let's get to some guys that matter. Sorry to get to be a short shift this week, Michael. It was a nice performance.
Yeah. So,
and lest we forget, he left Amari Cooper on the bench, which, of course, who wouldn't leave Amari Cooper on the bench? And like I said, Thursday Night Football, apparently this now means that the defenses don't play. So that's, we've had a lot of high-scoring games now, right?
Yes. Thursday Night Football has been, I guess you can say, exciting to watch because of the high-scoring games. So.
Well, yeah, it's been fairly exciting, but kind of in a, I'll say it 1,000 times over. I cannot stand that you have division games so you can get ratings. They're too important. Oakland and Kansas City, that's not an Oakland. It was an interesting game, memorable, but it's gimmicky, man. And these teams deserve better, and they deserve 7 days. And if it's Oakland coming to Kansas City on short weeks rest, it's bullshit, vice versa. And it showed, man. You had a tired Kansas City team after a while and a very desperate Oakland team who just basically showed you their entire playbook in one night so they didn't have their season eliminated because I can tell you how bad 2-5 feels, man. So that's what they were staring at.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Kelly Knights and Raunchy Nuggets. And Raunchy Nuggets pulled out the victory. He had to score a lot to win. Kelly Knights 140 would beat like the last three teams we just talked about. You, me, Mike, you know what I mean? So
you and me combined.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was one of two really good games this week, man. This is a little more like it, right?
Yeah.
164 to 140. I was telling, I'll be putting out the midseason here where we stand in the bad beats and the highest score and all that kind of fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think 140 is going to quite get it done. In fact, I think there's another game this week went a little bit higher with the loss, but this is nice. Cousins and Russell, Breeze and Alex Smith. Alex Smith, man, he just keeps bringing it, huh?
Yeah, you know what? Scott stole my QB that I wanted, for the waivers.
Mine too, Sam. I tried for him too, bro.
I had to go for my third pick. To get mine. But no, Alex Smith is still looking good throughout the season. MVP this year candidate has to be. But Scott's got a pretty good team here. Honestly, Rob, at first I was kind of, the first few games I was kind of thinking Scott didn't stand a chance, but
yeah.
He's looking pretty good.
Well, he did a nice job fixing the quarterback with Wilson there. He's kind of, really, Scott's an example of kind of, in my opinion, this team is just kind of hanging with it. He's made some, some tweaks here and there. But, he's got some names on here that we're eventually going to get going. Gronkowski's, you don't know what you're going to get from him week to week. But LaShawn McCoy finally showed up. Mike Evans had a nice, nice game. If he gets these guys going, he's going to have competitive weeks. I don't know if he's got enough firepower to dominate at any time. Kelly Knight's kind of a similar situation there, except for, he's got some rough wide receivers in there that are kind of hurting. So.
Yeah, Larry Fitz, especially with his quarterback going down, Palmer going down. We'll have to see how he's going to do.
He's useless at this point. And as just like Jordy Nelson, who I stupidly started last week, he's useless too. These guys can't play NFL football at that level, man. And guys like that, for sure, Nelson, they take real quarterbacks to give them the ball. These kids out there, no offense to them, but they just throw bullshit to, little dump-offs, and tight ends tend to do better, right? And then defenses tend to do better against them. That'll be the end of Fitz and, many guys. So, but, hey, 2-5, I guess it's a race for third between me and him. I don't know what we get. So good for Scott though, man.
Yeah.
That's a solid week. He had a 55 a couple of weeks ago, and he's had two rock hard weeks in a row, man. I mean,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
way to wake up, Scotty.
Congrats on that. Let's go to the next matchup: El Oso Verde versus the Bag or the Bat. Tay was very impressive. He actually texted me on to ask if he should start Carr, and I told him no because he looked injured the previous week. I said no,
Yeah.
don't. He goes, yeah, but I was like, no, don't. He looks injured, and then of course he blows up. So guys, don't text me for fantasy advice, okay?
Well, yeah, I never would, Sam, but it's I mean, Carr, Jerick McKinnon. I don't know about that. I'm a little surprised they didn't override you. I mean, Kansas City is. I mean, they give up some big plays and they make some big plays, and they certainly gave up some big plays that night. Either way, I mean, he probably would have taken out your season high score there, right? That you said nobody's going to touch, correct?
Yeah. Because it was between Carr and McKinnon, exactly like you said, it was between Carr and McKinnon, and I said, when I said McKinnon would be a better start,
Yeah, but that's the old butterfly theory. I mean, everything in the world hinges on who Tay starts in that game. So, I mean, Ezekiel Elliott probably would have got suspended this week, and the Chiefs would have won by 50 like they should.
Yeah.
So, and it would have been a perfect world had he started Derek Carr.
Yeah. Yeah. Can he please get suspended already? Just because I'm a hater and I want Ezekiel to get suspended. Can he please get suspended already?
Can they just drag this out any further? I mean, but then again, you're like, man, can they drag this out any further? And you go back to the Tom Brady suspension. They drug it all the way to next season. I think we're finally going to have a final close to decision next Monday. And my assumption is he's sitting for 6 games, but we'll see.
Yeah,
and that's also very nice pickup of Dak Prescott, man.
And he was on my pickup list too. It was Dak and Wilson, and then
Miami.
Yeah, and then what's his name? The Denver QB. I don't even want to say his name. So
Trevor Siemian?
Yes. So it was those three in that order, and jeez. Anyway.
Yeah. So Trevor Siemian and Brock Osweiler and Paxton Lynch. I mean, what the fuck is that about, Sam? I mean, really? They brought in 3 guys that can't play football.
How do you lose to the Chargers? Was that at Denver also? Was that at
Denver? That was in San Diego, but it could have been anywhere, dude.
Oh, my God. How is that? That's horrible. How do you lose to the Chargers? Damn.
Well, you lose to the Chargers. The fact you don't score any points is pathetic.
Yeah.
Hello, Severde. Just say quick words. He finally lost the season. That's a nice run at 6-0. And I mean, I'll tell you what. If you would ask anybody before the season if they wanted to be 2-5 at the midway point, they'd say no. And if you'd ask anybody if they wanted to be 6-1, they would have been like, yeah, that'd be sweet. I mean, hell, I mean, all I'm shooting for is like 4-3 at the midpoint, right? So it's a tough league. I came up short. And so 6-1's good. Dude, he had some bad matchups last week, though. I'll tell you that. But many a good player has had their ass handed to him by the Bag of the Bat, right?
Yep, and he plays Wolfpack next week, and we'll see how that goes.
That should be a win.
Let's go on to our next matchup. Oh, so congratulations, the Bag of the Bat. He could have had the high score if he didn't listen to my advice. But anyways, let's go to the next match.
63 for Ezekiel Elliott is damn nice, though. All right, moving on.
Let's go to the next matchup. Discount Belichick versus Straight LA.
This was a good game.
Yeah, 129 or 107. It was pretty good. Jameis Winston and Dak Prescott. Good combo for him.
That was supposed to be my starting lineup this week, and then I got scared at Jameis Winston with the shoulder injury.
Sure.
The Bills.
That's understandable.
Well, not really stupid. Jameis Winston, he was smart enough to play him and had a great game, I mean, ride your horses, right?
Yep.
And it's, I mean, at this point, this is a team that's very, very dependent upon the quarterbacks having success. And so he's got to run them out there. Or he's probably not going to be too competitive. At this point, Atlanta, we're at midway point. Devontae Freeman, amongst many, many, many candidates at running back and wide receiver as a midway bust of the year, is right in the, I'd say in the top third of the conversation. Sam, what do you think?
Yeah, yes, I have him also, so I know the feeling.
I mean, Julio Jones had to steal a ball in the fog from a guy the other night.
Literally, yes, literally had. I mean, the pass looked like it was thrown to the defender.
Dude, I swear though, man, I've seen years where we've had more injuries. I mean, just a couple of years ago, it was just like devastation row. But dude, has there ever been a year where more of these guys have just completely flopped? I mean, even guys that are doing pretty good, like say Antonio Brown. I mean, it's like, dude, we played 7 weeks and you don't have a 2-touchdown game yet. Des Bryant finally scored last week. There's just Jay Ajayi. They're everywhere, Sam.
Yeah.
Nothing, man.
Yep.
It's bizarre. So he's got to run those guys out there straight away. Yeah. Wasn't his week, right?
Yeah. 107. Yeah. So his skill players looks like just Cooks and Brown's the only one for wide receiver wise. But yeah. Yeah, I mean
he'll did pretty good.
Yeah, he'll have better days. That's straight LA. But yeah, discount Belichick. Good. Congrats on that. And
Let me just say one thing on straight LA here though with those receivers. I mean, I feel you, man, because Antonio Brown and Brandon Cooks and AJ Green, they sure look nice on paper. And I mean, sacrifice AJ Green, I guess, for Des Bryant for me right now. And you're talking, dude, one of these guys is going to start stepping up and having those games you thought they would, and it doesn't look like they're gonna. Antonio Brown's the only one I think has even a chance of it, and the quarterback's crap. So it's Brandon Cooks. Tom Brady. You just never know where the ball's going. He's out. These guys are decent, but they're all playing like twos, or in AJ Green's case, like a 3 almost. And when you're drafting guys this high, they can't all play like twos, right? You need a couple of them to play like ones, and that's so I feel his pain, man.
Yeah. So congrats, discount Belichick. Let's go.
Yeah, no, good job, man.
Let's go to the next matchup here. Savs versus High Rollers. So Savs here took a loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, High Rollers monster game. 164 is a lot of points.
Well, when you play against a 63-point performance and a 44-point performance, it's going to be pretty hard to pull off a win. And, the fact Sav stayed close with them is a testament to a pretty good team there. I mean, you're going to lose fantasy games. We all know that. So when you lose, you might as well score as many points as you can because it sure helps out down the line. And I'll take a 143-point losing effort. Fortunately, as we mentioned earlier, I mean, what's he got to fear in that division,
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's be real. I don't see any one of those teams having enough to track him down. And I mean, that's kind of crazy to say in week 7, but I really don't at this point. He's just Carson Wentz, Todd Gurley, Melvin Gordon, Julio Jones has to start performing. He's weak at wide receiver, but then again, find me somebody that's strong this year with the apparently 19 wide receiver rosters that are going on in the NFL. And as far as High Rollers, this team, I've been waiting for him all year. I mean, this team should be better. He's weak at wide receiver, but it's a nice win this week, huh?
It is. If Kareem Hunt would have did his regular stuff, just his regular stuff, his average stuff, Savs might have pulled it off.
It's all because the Raiders signed Navarro Bowman on Monday.
and he started. That's crazy. And he started. So.
Dude, I mean, J.J. Watt on a broken leg would probably start for that team at this point. On defense, the team's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm still. You can tell I'm still bitter over like them getting 19 chances at the end zone to win the game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
All right.
It's like, anyway, go on, Sam.
Let's go on to the next matchup. Your favorite, Wolfpack versus the Hart Foundation. 176 points for Wolfpack, and all up and down the board. I mean, McKinnon is probably his only weak spot right there for him.
Wolfpack? Yeah, he had a very nice week, absolutely. I've been giving Todd a hard time this year just because, why not? Yeah, no, you're right. 25, 43, 22, 14, 10, 29, 22. I mean, Blair Walsh and Jerick McKinnon were that. He texted me on Thursday. He had some like 80-something points after Thursday night football, man, which with Derek Carr and and Tyreek Hill. And he must have had somebody else I'm not seeing. But, No, well, maybe it's only 70-something points, but yeah, I mean, hell, nice night, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and Michael Crabtree.
Yeah, Crabtree. Yeah, I know the one that finally he didn't do anything for the Raiders, but your other wide receiver, Amari Cooper, did something for the Raiders. But no, yeah, let's take a look at the Hart Foundation here. I mean, Cam Newton. I mean, he.
God.
You could see I dropped him when I did. I was kind of nervous when I dropped him, but I'm kind of glad I did now. But I mean, he's just
well. This has been going on for a couple of years now, and really it was going on before that. I mean, he had that one phenomenal Super Bowl season where he just looked like Superman out there, and I believe he actually wore the Superman T-shirt under his jersey and all that crap, right? But it's I mean, dude, you never know what you're going to get from that guy.
You don't.
I mean, you're playing against the Bears, dude. This is not exactly a tough matchup. And, I mean, for him to come in and play a dog like that, I don't know. Everybody says, and dude, they love to pontificate about him. Is he injured? Is he this? I don't know. To me, he's just Cam, dude. The guy has some bad games, and a lot of them.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
It just doesn't make a lot of sense for him to be as up and down as he is. This guy, I mean, sometimes, I don't know about everybody, but sometimes I still think Cam Newton's kind of a young guy, but he's not. This is like his 7th, 8th year in the league. I mean, he is what he is, man. You don't know what you're getting week to week, man. And now with these rules, you're getting -3, right?
Yeah. I honestly feel like he's still a little immature by how he handles adversity. You know what I mean? Just because I can tell by the way he looks and on the sideline and in the interviews, that he does. I feel like he can't handle it very well. It's just I think he's just not mature. That's what I think, Rob. Honestly,
I just looked up. I love this thing on here, the Fantasy Sharks thing that's on our thing. You just click the player just to look at his birthday. I mean, he's 28 years old, man, almost 29. He's not mature. Okay,
he's not.
Okay, well, he just turned 28. I know he's not. I don't disagree with you, but he's 28 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dude, grow up, man. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, and Hart Foundation has Denver's defense, as I do have Denver's defense, and my advice is drop them. I'm going to drop Denver's defense. I mean, dude, it's slim pickings out there, Rob, for anything right now. I look, QB, running back, wide receivers, it's slim pickings out there.
Yeah. Well, Denver's defense, and Denver's just getting ready to go on an absolutely brutal stretch here, too.
Yes.
Right? They got to play Kansas City next Monday night, and I'm feeling pretty good about the Chiefs in that game.
I do too.
The thing with Denver now is when I look at that defense, I kind of go, dude, if they take Von Miller off that team, I mean, nobody's the Cleveland Browns. They're not even close to that bad. But you take Von Miller off that team, and, I mean, you're talking maybe about a 3 to 4 win team. At best. I mean, they're just, the talent level is just not good enough.
Yeah.
It's just not very strong. He's amazing, dude. That guy is a fantastic player. And but the rest of it's getting old.
Yep. And the offense needs to put up points. Help the defense out. Offense needs to put up points.
Yeah, but I mean, you just aside from that one game against Dak Prescott this year, I mean, they're beatable in the passing game, and they've been easily beatable in the running game for quite some time. Yeah. It's the whole thing is based on Von Miller getting to the damn quarterback, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And if he doesn't do it, they don't win. And like I said, you take him off the team. Right now, he makes that defense good. You take him off the team, this is a bad football team. And God bless it. Thank you, because I hate the Denver Broncos.
No.
So, moving on.
Let's go on to our last matchup, New Denver versus Team Revis. And New Denver, just like me, is happy to pull out a win.
Yes.
Look at 0 from Lynch, 0 from Demarius. Those are
and he wins.
And he wins. So I know he's happy to pull out a win. Look at over at Team Revis' side. There's a dash here, Houston. Did he play a bye defense? Were they on bye? Yes, they were on bye. So,
yeah, and there is you don't have to even put anybody in. He could have had 8 guys out there. It doesn't matter. Well, first of all, to our brother, Team Revis, he is now residing in Aurora, Colorado. So we wish him all the best with everything out there. And since he's probably bored to tears, he's probably listening to this whole thing. So a special shout out to Big Daddy Team Revis. Our hearts go out to you as you have to live in Colorado in the winter and
Yeah.
listen to Broncos fans whine about their quarterback. As a Raiders fan, no less. It's
oh man.
yeah, but man, he beat me, dude. So he beat me. So good for him.
Yeah. So and New Denver, his quarterbacks did well. Mark Ingram did well, but besides that, well, I mean, you have Minnesota's defense, but yeah, like I said, I'm sure New Denver is just very very happy and relieved just to pull out a win with that performance, like me this week. So yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, no, he feels 117's quite a bit better than 72, Sam. So let's not quite denigrate Mr. New Denver down to that level. You think he's going to run the Vikings out there against the Browns this week in London?
Tough.
Of course he's going to run the Vikings out there.
Well, because it's a London game, it's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because in Cleveland, in Ohio, is so much more dangerous, right? I mean, these are the games you just go, oh, thank God, please put Kaiser or the other guy out there. Like, who's the other guy? It's Savage. I can't even keep up with these guys' names anymore, man. It's like, dude, Cleveland, I'm going to just end this with this. Why does this team exist in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, they bench him, the QB, and then they're going to start him again. They bench him, and then they're going to start him again. What does that do to a young quarterback's mentality? You know what I mean? It's just like
it says, dude, you play for Cleveland. We don't know why we have a team here. I mean, it's typical Cleveland Browns crap. I seriously hate them. Why do they exist? They can't win a game. They cannot even compete in games, man. It's just like, I mean, they're like, oh, yeah, but, before the NFL existed, we won a lot of championships. And like, the Super Bowl, and you're like, okay, dude, that would have been like in the 50s, man. I mean, come on. Yeah. I can't stand that team. I don't understand the reason for their existence.
Yeah. Who knows?
Was there a single Brown playing in fantasy football in our league this week? Nope. I mean, not one, dude. We can't find one guy that's even – and, I mean, we got some bad players. I mean, I'm sitting there staring at Marshawn Lynch. I mean, it's like, dude, really? I mean, Grandpa here, caned his way out there to try to get in the middle of his cousin, who's not really his cousin, in the Raiders and push the referee. And we still got him going, but we can't find one Brown to play, Sam.
Yeah. It's how bad.
Not one.
It's how bad it is, yeah. Yep.
We started Trevor Siemian. The guy has no talent.
Trevor Siemian, man. maybe Brock Osweiler will show up. Who knows,
Brock Osweiler is so bad that the Browns cut him.
That's true.
All right,
but all right, yeah. Team Revis, I'm glad to hear you're out there. Aurora is a great place. I've been there a few times when I used to live in Kansas. Great. I mean, summertime. I've only been there summertime, springtime. So it's a great place. I enjoyed it out there. So, Revis, I hope you have a good time out there. So.
Yeah, we will. Our hearts go out to you.
Yeah.
And make sure you make arrangements to draft next year in the fantasy league.
I know he has to come down. Somehow.
In Aurora.
I know. All right, folks. Good luck this week. Make sure you hit that waiver wire. For Rob, I'm Sam. Good luck this week.
All right, Sam. Thank you very much.